What's up, guys?
What's up?
It's SEC After Dark. We had a groovy new weight screen, so I was pretty pumped about that. But it is Wednesday night. You know what time it is. It's time for the greatest show this side of dinner, and this side of the Mississippi as well. That's right. SEC After Dark. Stephen Willis, Jeb Beechum, Jake Thomas. Join me, fellas. It's game week for me. We open up our regular season. We welcome Kenwood. I don't even know what their mascot is, but
good luck.
They're going to come in and get that work. And I just know they wear black and gold. They look like the Saints, but they're not the Saints.
So they look like Vanderbilt?
Yeah, it's inside the Vandy.
Colorado. They actually look like Colorado.
Colorado. I forgot about them.
So, what's up, boys?
Not a bunch. I'm laughing at the title that I came up with. So if you have a problem with the title, address it to me. But I called it Texas 8-4.
Oh, I love it. Yes,
Texas 8-4. Oh,
love it.
Man, you can't hate that. Texas 8-4. You cannot hate that. If you hate that, you just have no sense of humor. But I'll tell you what else you can't hate is Bet Online. It still continues to be the fastest and easiest way to make all your sports betting and take care of all your sports betting needs, from all the latest betting odds in the PGA, in the Live Tour, MLB, MLS. I'll give you a shout out, MLS, NHL futures, NBA futures, NFL upcoming. You can bet on the preseason even. So you need to hit that website or go on that mobile device and put in that promo code Bleav50 to receive your 50% welcome bonus. That's BLEAV 50 to get your 50% welcome bonus. Bet Online, it's where the game is at. One quick thing before we get started, a great show announcement. And it's going to affect this show as well because I do post it under Beast of the East. But it appears that our shows are officially on TuneIn Radio.
Nice.
Ooh.
So tune in.
Bleav has launched 2 channels on TuneIn Radio. Bleav Radio and Bleav Football are the 2 channels on TuneIn. So subscribe to TuneIn. That's a free shout out. TuneIn. Feel free to give us a little kickback there. But you can tune into this show. You can probably find this show on TuneIn Radio. And you can find my other show, Bleav In Georgia Dawgs, on TuneIn Radio. And the one I did last night, which we rebooted for season 8. That's the Illegal Motion College Football Podcast, or just the Illegal Motion Podcast. I think is what we're going to short it to. So that's exciting. And they're still working on getting SiriusXM and some other more major platforms. So as the network continues to grow, y'all's conference network will continue to grow, and we will live in sweet, sweet harmony. So let's chat. We're going to do the SEC West preview, but we're going to do some camp updates. Steve, you had quite the videos this weekend. Ole Miss had a scrimmage. Jackson Dart was throwing darts, and Luke Altmaier wasn't all that bad himself, but of course he couldn't quite live up to the Jackson Dart hype. Did Jackson Dart win this job?
I don't know. Probably not yet. But I think if Jackson Dart has another scrimmage like that, he's probably going to win the job. But here's the problem with that first scrimmage, and I told everybody this was the one practice that was open, so everybody's own eyes got to see what everything was going on. Jackson Dart did that in front of everybody. He made that impression on everybody. So Lane Kiffin is in pure coach mode, to where after the practice they talked about a third-string quarterback that did not play with the 1s and 2s and did not address Jackson Dart or Luke Altmaier. And you will not hear anything about this quarterback competition probably until the Troy game. But I think if Jackson Dart puts it together and keeps it going, he is going to win this job.
I mean, To me, Steve, it's his to lose. I mean, honestly,
That's what I think.
He just, I think just being that comfortable, I think what we said in the breakdown, what he needs to do to win the job is he needs to take over. It appears he's doing so.
It was a very good game, and he kind of fulfilled the promise that everybody had when he transferred in the first place. It was good for everybody to see that. I think Jackson needed that to happen as well.
Yeah, I think that was the first real big positive thing that's happened to him that everyone can see is a win for him, a personal win for him, and a win for Ole Miss, really, because he's either going to win the job or he's going to push Luke Altmaier to play to a level that he's never reached before. Either way, it's a win for Ole Miss.
Yeah, I tell people all the time, root for somebody to win the job clearly. Do not root for a particular quarterback. Rooting for getting partisan in this quarterback competition is stupid. But Ole Miss will be better if somebody clearly wins this job.
Yeah. And that's what you should really just be rooting for, the team that's on the side of the helmet. So Georgia had a scrimmage Saturday as well. Darnell Washington continues his really good camp. He had a 40-yard catch and run, broke several tackles. He's really having a great camp as he's trying to cement his spot in the 14 personnel beast mode package. There's even fans catching on to that and asking Kirby about it, and he's laughing it off, but you're going to see it. The first team offense apparently looked sharp. Stetson Bennett was on point, and then Carson Beck came in with the first team offense as well. They were able to move it with ease. They were able to run the ball when they needed, but didn't run it a lot. They were throwing it more So defense ran more pressures than normal as well. So you're getting a more blitzing, aggressive defense. They also got beat when they did it too much. So, defense, I guess, is trying some things out and, seeing kind of what clicks and what we're good at. Smell Munden, Xavier Sori looked really good tackling on defensive side of the ball. Dylan Bell was a freshman wide receiver. That's a position that you're kind of trying to figure out who's going to emerge because, with all these tight ends, that's the story, but the receivers typically aren't the story. But Dylan Bell is one of them. Dominic Blaylock caught a long touchdown pass. He's been somebody that's been out for 2 seasons with a knee injury and some setbacks as well. Kenny McIntosh had a 65-yard run against the first team defense. So you have to think that he's kind of starting to take hold of that running back one spot, which, him and Kendall Milton are co-running back ones, if you ask me. So
you could have Adrian Peterson back there, though, last year, and even in practice, that run wasn't happening. Is that a reason for concern?
No, I just think you got a lot of new guys starting on defense, and they're trying to get used to each other. You got new coordinators that are, putting in slightly different schemes.
Hey, John.
Hey, what's up, John? Hey, John. Branson Robinson, Andrew Paul both also ran the ball really well. 2 incoming freshmen, and Malachi Starks has been filling in for Chris Smith while he's been on the injured list, and he's getting some extra reps as well. This was originally reported by Roddy Nabulsi of UJSports.com. I'm just echoing what he said. So this is all promising, right? Defense is trying to figure some things out. The first team offense looks sharp. Any concerns on the defense? You knew there was going to be a drop off, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You knew there was going to be a little bit at least, right?
Yeah, you have good players on the defense. They've recruited well, but you don't have the 8 starters that's playing in the league right now. So there's going to be a little bit of a drop off, at least until week 4.
And you don't have the chemistry either that those guys had. Like Nakobe Dean, you see Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis pick up right where they left off in the NFL in their first preseason game. It's impressive.
The Philadelphia Eagles are like, yeah, we want those 2. Make that happen. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, he fell to the 3rd round? Oh, you're a bunch of dumbasses. So, but that's my practice report. Nothing to note. The defense is just trying to figure some things out. There's not really any big position battles that we need to look at. It's just seeing which guys kind of emerge. Mostly the linebacker spots are kind of the concern. have the most concern because that's probably the least experience that's coming back, especially at the inside backer. So there you go. What's Bama looking like, Jake?
Well, we got our QB controversy of our own. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's Bryce Young's, but the biggest thing that's come out so far is Eli Ritz. He's kind of hurt. He come in and is going to try to be that second corner for us, the opposite of Kool-Aid, but he's been hurt. He's struggling a little bit right now, and Terrion Arnold, who is a guy who's been playing that second corner and looked really, really well. So Saban's been giving him some high praise. Another guy that's been getting a lot of praise this camp is one guy that Ole Miss was going after last year, and that was Jaheem Otis. He has come in and lost a bunch of weight, and he is pushing for one of the defensive line spots, and he played a little bit on the first team defense the other day, so he's looked really good so far as well.
He kind of has Mount Cody written all over him. You know what I mean?
He does. He does. But man, he's lost a bunch of weight. He's looking really, really in good shape. So
yeah,
oh, go ahead.
Him losing a bunch of weight, he's still 330.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But my biggest thing about him is I always talk about guys who have bought into the program. That's what he did. He bought in and he's done what he needed to do to get on the field, and he's trying to get there, man. And that's good to see because, if Alabama does have a quote unquote weakness on the defense, it's the defensive line because you don't really have a star player there. You have Byron Young coming back; he can be that guy. You have some others coming back, but there's not really a star player per se. So you need somebody to step up on that defensive line this year.
Good grief, Bama's like all South Mississippi, like Wes Jones, Byron Young, or Jones or whatever, and Jaheem Otis from Columbia.
Yeah, so
it's nuts.
Well, we're losing all the defensive line talent out of the state right now. I mean, Woods went to Clemson.
Do they have Jernigan from Jackson?
No.
That was a Peyton Manning joke.
That was believe it or not, I got that. That was a Stan Torgerson thing. Peyton Manning quoting an old Archie Manning tape.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Another thing, offensive line wise, Cohen, Javion Cohen's kind of dealing with some mental health issues right now. So he's not. He's actually second on the depth chart right now at left guard. I figured he'll be back there because he's the one that's got the most experience at left guard. He's just going through some things right now. So,
Jeb, what are you hearing about Tennessee? Wait, nobody cares. Just kidding.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, only bits and pieces because I don't know that they've had an open scrimmage, and I'm kind of hearing what I hear, from what practices they've had. But I know the defense has always been like a concern. Juwan Mitchell, though, who was a transfer from Texas last year, didn't end up playing because of injuries and kind of getting used to the new defense and all that. But he's apparently been very impressive this offseason, so that's encouraging because we need linebacker help pretty bad. So him and Jeremy Banks may be able to step up and actually be decent linebackers for us because I think Jeremy Banks will take another step forward. He's converted over from running back but got better and better every game last year to the point he was actually playing really well. I think our front seven will actually be pretty good. There's still a lot of concern in the secondary, especially at corner. Don't know who those are going to be. We have our safeties that are pretty much guys that at least have experience that played last year, but I think our corners are going to be pretty much all new. So should be interesting there. I did hear that our freshman running backs were playing really well. Jabari Small is going to be the main guy, but the freshmen are playing strong. Brew McCoy is having a great last few practices, but don't know if he's even going to be eligible to play. So we don't know when we'll actually get him, but apparently he is settling in really well. So it's just kind of a lot of speculation outside of the spots we know. Don't really know what else is going to happen there. So we're kind of putting all our hopes on Hendon Hooker and Cedric Tillman just scoring 50 points a game to kind of keep us in it. So we'll see.
Jabari Small's dad is going to be on my show next week.
Is he?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. He's going to talk about when he played at Ole Miss back in the 90s under Billy Brewer. He had two brothers that also played college ball, one at Georgia and one at Florida as well. So 4 members of their family played at SEC schools, and nobody played at the same place.
Oh, wow.
That's an interesting route to go down.
Yeah,
for sure.
Well, his son had almost 1,000 yards last season and wasn't even the starter in a lot of games. So this season, I expect some actually pretty good games from him. I think he's going to surprise a lot of people as one of the better running backs in the SEC this year.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
All right, so here's how we're gonna do this preview tonight. Okay.
Okay.
So we're gonna finish out. We're gonna do the SEC West, and then we're gonna also something that thanks Matt. I'm gonna steal from We're gonna give our superlatives too. So we got SEC champion, offense, defensive players of the year, coach of the year, newcomer of the year, and we did a first fired for the coaches. And so
that'd be easy.
Well, so you'll give Nick Saban, you'll give your nominees for that. So let's start with the SEC West rankings. We did SEC East last week. We had Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, Florida, South Carolina, Mizzou, and Vandy as our rankings last episode. So if you want to hear our explanations behind that, you can tune into last week's episode. You can find it anywhere you find your podcast, and apparently now you can find it on TuneIn Radio. So, but the SEC West, this is probably the more interesting division, the more even division, the more I don't know what the hell's going to go on
Grown
division.
Yeah, much tougher to rank.
Grown ass man.
Are you saying Vandy's soft?
Not as soft as Auburn, but close.
Oh,
all right. So speaking of Auburn, let's start at the bottom. Is Auburn? Yeah. Is Auburn dead last?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Auburn's dead last. The rumor is TJ Finley is winning the quarterback job. So
he's sitting in jail. How's that possible?
Not showing up makes him the best.
No, he's on a film set with that freaking scooter move, man. He's going to be the next. He's going to be the next James Bond, man. That's some impressive scooter driving right there.
If only he could maneuver in the pocket the way he does on a scooter, he'd be all right, right?
That's right. But like with their defense that they have coming back, I mean, I was looking at it. Their defensive front is going to be pretty nasty. So that's got to count for something, right?
Yeah. Defensive coordinator that they had, not before Derek Mason, I can't remember his name for whatever reason.
Kevin Steele.
He stockpiled that defensive line pretty well. So they're still living off of that a little bit.
And they have Owen Popo too.
Yeah.
Still coming back.
And the pass rusher that's actually from Mississippi.
Is it Big Cat Bryant?
No, he went to Central Florida.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's going to start being really tough to keep up with all the transfers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
every year. Nope.
It's gonna be like college. It's gonna be like college basketball. So it's really what it's gonna turn into, but on a bigger scale because there's more people in the roster. So comparing Auburn and Mississippi State, I mean that's got to be the bottom, the 6 and 7, right? So, I mean you look at the depth of the rosters. Like what separates those two teams?
Mississippi State gets them at home.
Mississippi State gets them at home. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Fair enough. Will Rogers going to chop him up again, I guess.
Yeah, definitely the quarterback position. If Mike Leach could figure out that he needs to run the football instead of being 70-30 split, become 60-40.
He ain't no damn 70-30 split. It's more like 85-15.
Yeah, but if he would get down to a 60-40 pass to run, if he would do that, Mississippi State would be so much better because Jaquarius Marks is a decent back. Dylan Johnson's a decent back. They just need to learn how to run something other than inside zone. Add a run play to the system.
See, they need to get us, Steve.
Maybe even two.
Does Mississippi State have LSU at home, or they got to go to LSU?
They have to go to LSU.
Okay, yeah, they're number 16.
So who's 5?
I just feel like Mississippi State will be able to pull it enough together to surprise some people. And maybe not too many people, but every now and then pull a surprise. Auburn just seems like a complete wreck. I don't understand how even if they have better athletes, I don't understand how they're going to pull it together. So.
Yeah, I mean, I think you look at their coaching situation too. I mean, that's got to be.
Well, this will be the year that Auburn surprises people and win like 8 games.
And that's the problem with the SEC West. Any of this could happen. We don't know.
That's just kind of what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If Jaden or Daniels at LSU is a bust,
yeah,
3-8's possible on that LSU schedule, or 3-9. They could also go 8-4, 9-3. I mean, there's a lot of volatility built into that LSU thing because you just don't know what you're going to get. All you know is Brian Kelly is a really good coach, and you know that Jaden Daniels has a lot of experience playing quarterback, even though he played for you play to win the game, Herm Edwards.
Yeah.
But I mean, I would put LSU at 5th. But
I agree.
Yeah, but those bottom 3 are almost interchangeable.
Yeah, I mean, you could roll a dice and say, but I just don't think any of those bottom 3. I think we could put them in the tier of they're not competing for a division championship this year.
No.
Yeah, most likely. That's crazy happens.
John, if they go after one of those 2 coaches, it would probably be Dave Doran. I think PJ Fleck is a little bit of a fraud.
Thank you, Becky, for the kind words.
Hey, John.
Yeah. There you go, Becky.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah. Becky's moderating.
Love it.
Becky,
you're awesome. You're the greatest moderator of all time. So so we've got 5, 6, and 7 now. Now let's shake out the top 4 because this is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, we know who number 1 is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mississippi State.
We'll just put them at 6, goofball.
Did you just call me goofball?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard that in a while.
If they're going to be number 6, they can't be number 1. I mean, unless you just want to put them at number 1.
We're keeping it PG until off the rails, asshole. No, I mean,
goofball.
Yeah, goofball.
We got a 52 health department score. We're going off the rails tonight.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah, goofball.
Yes, we are.
What? Yeah. No, we know who number 1 is. It's Bama. So we got to pick 2, 3, and 4. All right. And here's how I have it. And I've been not just because Stephen Willis is sitting to my left over here.
You did it right
there.
Yeah, that's the right. Yeah. That's the right.
Well, it's something.
It's left on my screen.
Yeah, it's left if you're watching on your screen. It's left for the viewer. So my right.
Oh, dang! I did it wrong.
Yep. Got the last one wrong.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
You'll get it. You'll get it one of these days, Jake. Yeah.
No, I won't.
My right, your left.
Got it.
Yep. There you go. Can't go wrong there.
There we go.
So it's not because Stephen Willis is in the basement of the palatial Central Florida studios with Ole Miss sign and the musty drip and the warehouse feel and the 2 helmets back there and the Rebel flags and the scarves and the not Rebel flags but like the Ole Miss Rebel flags and the scarves and stuff. Don't search that, Jeb.
Yeah.
I'm a little bullish on Ole Miss, and it's because doing these breakdowns has really opened my eyes to how much talent they have bringing in. So I like them 2nd. I like Texas 8-4 at 3rd, and then Arkansas. I don't know, Arkansas 4th, and you could really kind of roll the dice between those other 2. I mean, I love KJ Jefferson, but I just don't think they have much more outside of that as far as firepower goes that we know of right now.
They didn't really have a lot of firepower last year and put a whooping on A&M.
And I hope they do the same.
With the Auburn's big great hope coming at quarterback.
Yeah.
Scooter Mafia over there at quarterback.
And they had Spiller in that game too, I believe. And they shut down Spiller. Or was he still injured then?
PJ Fleck is not a better coach than the Pirate. I guarantee you that, John. I just
you know,
Pirate has a knack for investing in some really, really bad teams.
Yeah, Becky's right. Mike Leach is a national treasure, so he needs to be protected at all costs.
And he had one of the great cameos of all time on Friday Night Lights.
I did not see that.
Where he's talking about swinging his sword and everything else. Yes.
Yes.
Swing your sword. Just when you're going through there, just swing your sword. That's kind of my that's pretty close to the cameo. But if you look at the SEC West, there are 3 tiers. You have Alabama by themselves, and just don't even worry about them. Then you have the Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and Arkansas tier. Those are all interchangeable. Anybody can finish ahead of them. Texas 8-4. I'm sorry, Texas 8-4.
Texas 8.
I was about to say you're trying to insert teams into the conference here.
Yeah, and then you have the LSU, Mississippi State, and West Georgia tier.
Hey, I love that.
West Georgia.
And that's kind of where you're at. And God, KJ Jefferson could very well be the best quarterback in this conference this year, and it wouldn't surprise me. And there's several guys like that. 2 of them are over in the East, and then you have some guy named Bryce Young. He won some award last year. I'm not sure what it was, but
man, if you watch that national championship game and look at the passes that Alabama dropped, Bryce Young performed out of his mind. He did everything he could to win that national championship. They just didn't have any dudes on the outside.
And then they stopped protecting him, and he started getting hit.
That's what I'm talking. That's the reason Bryce Young gets credit, because he was getting his brains beat in.
Yeah,
he was getting the shit beat out of him.
Yeah.
Jeb, you already ruined it, so I can say it now. Yes. So, I mean, is that pretty accurate? Is that what we're going to go with? I mean, 2 through 4. I mean, do we want to go Ole Miss 2, 8-4, 3, and Arkansas 4?
You know what? Let's flip 8-4 and Arkansas and go Ole Miss, Arkansas 8-4.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know. Arkansas' schedule's pretty rough this year.
Yeah,
I have trouble believing they're going to repeat it have as good a season as they had last year. But they very well could. They've got the talent. But
they'll just have to just walk back here, tried to round me up. He obviously wants something.
Ready for bed.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you doing? It's 10:00 at night. What are you doing still up?"
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here looking at, and I know Steve already knows this, but I'm looking at this Ole Miss schedule, and I mean, I have said that potentially that Alabama Ole Miss game could decide the winner of the West this year. Because I mean, if Ole Miss gets past Kentucky, of course, and they get past A&M, they're going to be undefeated going into that game against Alabama.
So they returned 6 starters on offense. Yeah. The thing that concerns me about Arkansas is three on defense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And teams will be ready for them this year. And they were just a surprise last year, but now everybody knows they're good.
If you look at who returns on there, they do have Drew Sanders, the former 5-star from Alabama, that's up there playing linebacker. They still have Bumper Pool. Jalen Catalon is back. The people that come back, they're dudes.
They're really dudes.
Yeah. Do we believe in Jadon Hazelwood? I'm having a hard time with that one.
In this offense that runs at Arkansas, I think he'll be all right. I don't know if he will be Trayvon Burke's level, but he could potentially be like, I don't know, a Braylon Sanders in the Ole Miss offense last year, something similar to that.
Yeah. Need a dog flag. I've got just about everything else. Got a helmet, like a bunch of pictures and a panoramic of Sanford Stadium. I don't know what else I need there.
John, to go to your point, we relied so much last year on Mechie and JMO. I mean, and when both of them went down, Mechie we lost in the SEC championship game, and then JMO in the national championship game. Nobody besides Ja'Cory Brooks. He had some playing time, and Ajah Hall, we know what his issues was because he's still having them. But other than that, nobody was really, besides the tight ends, Latu, had any kind of game experience. So it really come to bite him in the butt, last year in the championship game.
I want to know who the first team is that's just going to blitz the hell out of Alabama this year. Just nonstop. Make it to where Jahmyr Gibbs cannot go out and catch passes. Make it to where he has to pass protect. And with no JMO on that team, all of a sudden, Jermaine Burton will be fine. He's, like I said, that Mechie type receiver. But it could get interesting if somebody has the guts to go straight at him.
If I'm Texas, I have the guts to go straight at him.
Because you have nothing to lose.
Yeah,
you don't have nothing to lose, but some of the video that's come out of that Texas, camp, their offensive line is absolutely garbage.
You don't. You're not winless in 1,000 days against Kansas if you're good.
Right. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they haven't beat Kansas like 1,000.
I mean, obviously, I don't follow Big 12 football all that closely. I didn't realize that they're on a 1,000-day winless drought against the Jayhawks. Rock chalk, baby.
Kansas pretty much has a guaranteed win every year, and that's against Texas.
Yeah.
You know what, and I must have talked good about Kansas one day, like this weekend, because I pulled up my Twitter and it was like Kansas. I was like, Jesus.
I'm telling you, if you are a fan of mid-'90s to early 2000s football, watch Kansas and Kansas State this year. They are going to be your go-tos, and they're going to be better.
Yeah, they're saying big things about Kansas State.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Kleiman, that's going to be good. So
yeah, I hope Alabama rolls through the Texas and just plants a flag and says we own this state now.
By the way, the rumor is Texas 8-4 offered $15 million for Malachi Nelson.
I did say that.
Yeah.
That's half of last year's recruiting class just for a quarterback.
15 mil.
Yeah.
What?
Could you imagine one kid getting $15 million?
One kid that hasn't put on that god awful helmet yet.
Yeah. Hadn't played it down.
We really don't like A&M around here.
Texas 8-4.
But Alabama's first real road game is at Arkansas, October 1st.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at Arkansas.
Oh, yeah. That is such a good week for SEC football. Ole Miss and Kentucky is that week too.
Yeah.
Georgia is at Missouri, so.
Well, not that.
Which one's going to be the 2:30 game?
That'll be an 11 a.m. kick at Fairrow Field.
I don't know. Everybody has a chance to be undefeated in that one, but if Arkansas is undefeated, it's going to be Bama and Arkansas.
Unfortunately.
So the whole world except Jake is going to be Woo Pig Suey.
Yeah.
Hey, Beck, the closest to that is Vanderbilt. So
a dominant defense.
If you want old man football, the closest to that is Vanderbilt. Arkansas does a modern version of it.
Mm-hmm.
They're
that damn jukebox.
They're the closest. Old Sammy Pittman. You think LSU's going to play some old man ball?
No, because the offensive coordinators that were with Brian Kelly have moved on. So I don't know what the offense is going to look like. But whenever he got to Notre Dame from Cincinnati and went to Grand Valley State to Cincinnati, he had a true spread offense, Tony Franklin system looking deal.
Oh, gross. Tony Franklin system.
Yeah.
The system was so good that Miles Brennan decided to quit football.
Yeah. Apparently he got a bunch in NIL deal. He was like, okay, I'm stepping away.
Why not?
I want old school Bama versus LSU.
Yeah, Becky wants 9. Yeah, she wants 9-6 to happen. That is. That is her football. Her ideal team would be like the 2000 Baltimore Ravens.
No, I want like a 2006 old Mississippi State versus Auburn 3-2 classic.
Oh my
Remember that one?
gosh. Yeah.
It was a 3-2 game.
That was an awful game to watch.
Complete ugly. You know what fest?
It's a shame that Becky wasn't into football and developed back in the 80s and early 90s, because she would have loved SEC football back then. Whenever there's like a 17-9 game that feels like the other team won by 4 touchdowns because that defense was that dominant. Yeah, it's nuts.
Becky, go watch highlights of the 2017 Georgia Bulldogs and you'll get your old man football.
Yeah, that's probably the closest to old man football. Is Georgia in this league now, actually. Especially last year. You can just go watch last year's national championship run for Georgia and look at that defense. That's some grown man football.
That is some just go watch the Kobe Dean and or Jordan Davis.
That was good.
Yeah.
Just watch Jordan Davis just wipe people off the map.
People that big shouldn't be able to move like that. It's not natural.
You know, John, Miles Brennan hurting himself going fishing is the most Mississippi thing I've ever heard. But him hurting himself then is whenever he lost the job basically for good. I think he broke his arm or something going fishing.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Very, very Mississippi.
Fishing.
He probably fell in a creek bank. I don't know exactly what happened. Maybe John can let us know.
So. Yeah, that's a good point.
He got a little bass on his. He got a little 6-pound bass on his line, and just that thing just pulled him right in.
Oh, he's from St. Stanislaus, so he's probably fishing in the Gulf.
Probably hood the hammerhead.
Yeah. What's the deal with all the sharks in Destin and Orange Beach?
They're coming to watch Ole Miss play.
Yeah.
I don't know, but there was a daggum water spout in Destin the other day. Don't say that.
Yeah, he should have transferred to USM. Although he might not have won because Tyler Keys is legit. I know way too much useless shit about football.
Yes, that's
it's
been true for a long time.
Ole Miss fans. Okay, so is there anybody besides Bryce Young that's going to be that could be candidates for Offensive Player of the Year in the conference? My vote is KJ Jefferson.
Could
Zach
be candidates.
Zach Evans, that's a good
Zach
guess.
Evans will be up there.
Bryce Young will win it.
I think KJ Jefferson will be up there. I think Hooker will be up there. Stetson
I was saying, if Hooker has the season people are talking about, he could be up there.
Hengen Hooker be up there.
Yeah, and y'all joke, but if Auburn pulls one of their Auburn Jesus 8-4 seasons out of the hat, TJ Finley could be up there.
Yeah,
I know. This sounds like a Fairley Brothers movie.
I mean, it would be a runaway.
Yeah.
Spencer Rattler. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, that's the East.
Yeah. Well, Hengen Hooker too.
We're just talking about
but
SEC.
If South Carolina wins 9 games, Offensive Player of the Year, Spencer Rattler could win SEC Player of the Year.
Yeah,
because Bryce Young is going to have to deal with the fact that he won everything last year. And the one thing the media does for whatever reason is they don't like to give people back-to-back awards. It's like they won last year.
They won't give him back-to-back Heisman's for sure, but I don't know. I mean, SEC Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, I could see.
I think CJ Stroud will outperform him that because he's in the they'll run roughshod over the Big Ten.
Yeah,
a big season by Anthony Richardson, and Florida goes 9-3.
There's another one.
They are in love with Anthony Richardson for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I don't see it.
Yeah,
he hurt
himself dancing before South Carolina,
and he still got PTSD looking out there and watching the Kobe Dean pick sixing.
Okay, is John joking, or is that really what happened? Did he get his flip flop caught in a plank on the pier? Because that's
what he said.
That one sounds legit. Blame
and
it
there's
for
bourbon involved.
yeah, Mississippi's shitty
Yeah.
infrastructure
Yeah.
took him out.
There you
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
go. Wow.
Well done, Mississippi.
That's
well done.
That's terrible.
The money that they could have fixed it, they probably stole it and misused welfare funds and sent and built a volleyball court at USM.
They probably just gave it to Brett Favre.
Yeah, and Hacksaw Jim Duggan. How's Hacksaw Jim Duggan in this too?
Hey,
That's a good point.
American
Kane is the
dream.
mayor of Knoxville. I have no idea how that happens.
Yeah,
WWE is powerful.
Yeah.
We've just hit a very surreal time in our civilization.
Yeah, we really have.
Can you smell what the Congress is cooking?
Yeah, people are actually saying and legitimately saying The Rock should think about running for president. And it's like, why?
Yeah.
Right.
Has he
What is
ever
it?
done anything political that makes you think, oh, that guy would be good at running the country?
Do you think he's going to go out in Congress and
Have
throw
you watched
Mitch
Baller's
McConnell in a rock bottom?
I would love to see
I
that.
mean,
Yeah.
he'd get some stuff done.
Put the people's down.
Can you imagine his? Can you imagine his
People's elbow.
speeches though? His State of the Union.
Yes,
Oh,
I can.
you
because
candy asses!
It's Terry Crews from Idiocracy.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was
Yes.
thinking too.
God, there's a blast from the past. Yeah.
Yeah.
President Nacho something or other. I forget.
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew. Yeah,
Yes.
that's what we need.
Yeah. Vice President not sure is going to fix everything.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Oh, the Brennan family. I didn't know they were from New Orleans.
Yeah, he went to St. Stanislaus originally.
Huh. Well,
And John said
All right,
that's
so
really
I think
what
it's
happened.
a clean sweep for. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's crazy. Well, before we get this train, we got a couple more rails before we get off of
Yes.
completely off the rails. But defensive player of the year. I mean, I think it's Will Anderson, but we're just going to give some honorable mentions probably.
Honorable mention, Dallas Turner.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was like, that was
Teammate.
yeah.
You got to also think Henry Toto, teammate, BJ Ojolari, I think could be somebody. Bumper Pool, Jalen Catalon, Jordan Battle, Keely Ringo.
I like Jalen Catalon if Arkansas has a big season.
Yeah.
If South Carolina jumps up and they pull it a 9-3, I'm interested to see what somebody off of their defense looks like.
Zach Pickens would probably be the guy.
Yeah.
He's second team all conference, or Cam Smith, DB.
But it's probably going to be Will Anderson.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
if we're just being real about it.
All right, newcomer of the year.
Oh, my goodness.
Zach
Zach Evans.
Zach Evans.
I said
that's
Jackson
good.
Dart. I said Jackson Dart.
Yeah. Either way, if
Yeah,
Ole Miss
either
has
one
the
of them.
season that I think they can have, it's going to be one of those two. But Zach Evans could be a kid that rushes for 1,800 yards.
Yeah, I mean it's
Man.
very possible.
Yeah.
And I could see Zach Evans getting offensive player of the year, even if Bama has a big season with Bryce Young and Jahmyr Gibbs having a big year. I could still see Zach Evans getting that as well. If South Carolina has a big year, it's obviously got to be Spencer Rattler.
Spencer.
Yeah.
But other than that, I think that just those are your candidates, or some freshman emerges.
Yeah. Jahmyr Gibbs also.
Gibbs, yeah, for a second with Alabama.
Brew McCoy, potentially.
That's if he gets eligible. That's who I'm rooting for. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
right now he's not eligible to play, so who knows?
Yeah, because he's transferred 3 times in 2 years.
Yeah. I don't know if he's that good, John, but he's definitely good.
I think he's the
Mike Judge.
reincarnation
I mean-
of Derek Thomas.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's people down here that's saying that he could potentially be better than Derek Thomas, and we love Derek
Yeah.
Thomas down here.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah.
that picture says it all.
It is ridiculous how good Will Anderson is.
And
All right, coach of the year.
Wait, real quick. That team picture with Will Anderson.
Oh my gosh.
Just it's like, if you're every other team, quit. No, don't even worry about it. We're gonna run the the Louisiana offense with Jerry Reed from the Waterboy. Just drop back and take a knee. How you like my new offense?
Scary mugshot. Yeah.
Good. They're like, no, I don't want any.
Yep, you're good. We get it. All right, good game. Backups, you want to get in? Scout team, you guys want to take a shot at this one?
Go on 2. That's my recommendation to SEC teams. Don't let him figure it out first sound.
I never got confirmation if this was true or not, but supposedly they had to take Will Anderson off the field, during the scrimmages just so the offense can have a chance.
There's 2 ways to look at that, Jack.
I know. Yeah. I know, but yes,
Will Anderson's good.
He's pretty good. So, who's coach of the year though?
Brian Harsin.
If Auburn wins 8 games, yeah.
And that's probably what it'll be. Whatever team surprises this year and has a big year. Outside of Nick Saban, obviously.
My prediction is Lane Kiffin because Ole Miss is going to come within a Jake Thomas beard hair away from winning the West.
Yeah, if Ole Miss can somehow, I'm not saying they will, but if they can get to that Alabama game and both teams are undefeated, that has a chance to be a fun night.
I think if Arkansas wins 9 games, you got to look at Sam Pittman. Turn that damn jukebox on.
If Vandy wins 4 games, Clark Lee
doubles that win total.
Hey.
If they beat Hawaii, by more than if they cover the spread against Hawaii.
Oh, the line's gone down. They're only favored by 6.5, 6 hours away on the road.
Doesn't matter if they cover it.
It's like, how bad is Hawaii? Good grief.
Yeah, how bad is Hawaii? Good God.
I've heard Clark Lee's worried about his team being overconfident.
Yeah,
I've heard Mike Wright looks like a 52 health score at Denny's at practice.
Oh, is it time?
Oh, John. Wait, we got to go with what John just said.
Man, how bad would Ole Miss have to fall apart for that to be true? Oh,
no,
are you talking
about?
He's talking about Lane leaving.
Everybody's hoping Lane leaves. I don't think Lane's going. Yeah, because everybody that would hire him hired somebody last year.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, I can't think of anybody in the SEC unless it's Auburn. But
Auburn may try, but he's not going to Auburn. They're crazy.
I wouldn't think so either.
Yeah.
Those boosters.
Those boosters.
Those boosters are.
Lane Kiffin spent 6 months in Oxford, and the rest he's down in Boca Raton. You think Auburn would let him do that? You think the Yellowwood guy would let that happen? No. These people are crazy. They tried to run Brian Harsin out, I guess because he has a decent-looking recruiting assistant.
Yeah.
I mean, that was their reasoning. It's like, well, something had to happen wrong there.
And he's not going to want to go to one of the conferences that might fold any day now. So
that
only leaves like the Big Ten is the other real possibility right now.
And the only one that he would go to in the Big Ten is probably UCLA. Good grief, that is so weird to say that.
That is very weird. John, it doesn't matter. They can offer him the Brinks truck. They can offer him the money in the Brinks truck and the Brinks truck. He's going to take that, drive right back to Auburn, and get out and Uber back with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's no way.
He's making $8 million in Oxford.
Right.
Yeah.
$8 million is like $20 million. $8 million in Oxford is like $20 million.
Yeah, anywhere else. But yeah.
There's no way. I mean
I do think Lane Kiffin's going to leave, but people wishing that he would.
The only place he'd leave for is Bama.
Yeah, and I think he is smart enough to know, though, be the person that replaces the person that replaces Saban.
Yeah.
Do not replace Saban.
Right.
But is he single? Is he a single guy?
He's a single guy. He's got a girlfriend in Oxford.
I mean, single guy in Oxford.
A sorority girl?
Yeah. Probably.
No. No.
Or 3, whatever.
Or 3, yeah. He's not Ed Orgeron then.
And either one I saw the headline was bragging about finding his punter at a frat party.
Yeah, that is absolutely. Hey, Lane Kiffin is a master at distraction. Jackson Dart has a huge scrimmage where he's like 17 of 20 for 240 and 2 touchdowns, and he has everybody after it talking about the third string quarterback that didn't take a rep against the first or second team defense and a punter that they got from a frat house. They're not doing anything with the quarterback competition. Yeah. It's these hand-picked stories that he gave to them. It's like, here's some red meat. Here's some chum. Have at it.
And
he's smart.
Becky, Becky, you can go on to bed now. Thank
you. Yeah.
Ole Miss grad student. Jeb, you can look that one up. You can look that one up.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, look that one up. So, John, where's he gonna go? John says, okay, just wait.
I mean, if he tries to go to Auburn, I mean, Auburn's hamstringing themselves by paying all these coaches. If Harsin leaves, they're gonna have 3 coaches they're gonna be paying for the next 10 years.
Yeah, it's like $50 million.
Auburn's gonna run into that trouble Tennessee did of having nobody wanting to come coach there. So you're down to your 5th or 6th choice.
Yeah.
Well,
Tennessee's fun. That is.
Tennessee's just been back so many times.
They haven't been back as much as Texas.
That is true. Although Miami, you're starting to hear from Miami fans with Cristobal. Oh, Miami's back. It's like, good grief, we've heard. Come on, are you trying to join the club? What's going on here?
Right.
You know what's sad is they could very easily win the ACC this year.
They could, because they're in the opposite division than Clemson.
Oh, Clemson.
Yeah.
They will absolutely run their division. Their division is outside of Pitt is hot freaking garbage.
But you look at the Clemson side, Clemson's predicted 4th in the AP poll.
The only team that's going to push Clemson is NC State.
Yeah,
and Florida State might be pesky, but they're not going to win the. They're not going to
week 0 FSU Duquesne. I think we should have a watch party or something for that.
We should,
John.
So if Lane Kiffin leaves, go ahead.
I was going to say, John, if Yellowwood guy may have $1 billion net worth, but he's not going to pay $50 million to get rid of to pay all these coaches off. I mean, that's half his.
No, I like Cristobal. I like Cristobal. I thought he did a good job at Oregon.
Yeah.
I mean, Oregon was not in great shape when he took it over.
Jaden Rashad is the real deal. The quarterback that committed down. He's legit.
Yeah.
They've got something going down there. But here's the deal: like Ole Miss brass, they're big fans of HBO, so they're watching Hard Knocks right now. They heard this speech from Dan Campbell, so like if anything happens, Dan Campbell played for the Saints at one time. Now he's the head coach of the Detroit Lions. He gave that famous. I don't care if we have one ass cheek and 3 toes. We're still going to kick some ass, man. We're just going to do it, man.
Man, Hard Knocks gave me so many flashbacks to Coach O. Oh my God,
dude, I love it, man. I might be a Lions fan this year. I love me some Dan Campbell, man. I can't get enough, man. I can't get enough, man.
Hey, there was a Mark Brunell sighting.
Yeah, he was saying he doesn't care how deformed they are. I don't know. He's just using an example. He's like, I don't know why he said one ass cheek, but
I was going to say, my God, we got some hillbillies up in West Virginia in the woods over up there.
I think Antoine Randall L. and Aaron Glenn just was talking shit back and forth too.
Deuce Staley. It was Deuce Staley and Aaron Glenn. That's all they were doing was talking shit. It was awesome.
Yeah. But it is the most fun staff, I think, in the NFL.
Dan Campbell would coach circles around Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, he might. I'm just saying.
He actually likes the players that he's coaching.
Yeah.
Actually,
there was some of that shit sounded staged. It just did.
It's not though. That's how he is. That's how he is. That's who he is.
And Dan Campbell's on the same Red Bull diet as Ed Orgeron.
He drinks coffee by the pot.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just what he is. He's probably not drinking it from the Denny's in
What's wrong with that?
on Panola Road in DeKalb, Georgia.
Oh,
I think it was in
Right.
Lithonia, wasn't it?
It's on Panola Road. I think that's a little.
Yeah.
I think that's Lithonia.
A 52 health rating. This restaurant
Actually,
I think has
actually
since
know where that
closed
is.
down.
I know
think
where
it's
that is,
closed
actually.
down since then.
Better be. It
Yeah.
better
I
be.
hope so.
Shit.
Yeah, but a 50. Can you imagine?
Look, what do you like? They're serving raw deli meat. They put a raw egg on a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I told
They had the-
Corey. I said the only restaurant that can get away with that is Waffle House because the worst score on Waffle House is the better it is.
Oh, hey, are
It's
we
made
off
with
the
love and
rails?
germs.
Are we off the rails?
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
That sounds like.
Okay. Here is my theory on the waitress staff at Waffle House.
Uh-oh.
Part of the job application is fighting.
Well,
And
you start
missing
out.
front teeth.
Yeah, well, you start out as a general place at like a Hooters, and that advances to a strip club, and you work at a strip club till you
God.
have to retire, and you become the strip club madam, and then after you can't do that anymore, you end up going all the way down, and the retirement home is Waffle House waitress.
Oh my gosh. Becky said, "Shut up."
Not my Waffle House. My Waffle House has some young ones. They're starting young. Stop, Steve.
Stop, Steve. Shut up, Steve.
You're going to get us canceled.
Your producer's going to fire you, Steve.
Yeah, somebody has not watched many off the rails segments by us.
Right. Yeah.
She missed the Sex Robots episode.
Oh, yeah. You did miss that.
And she missed the weekly, what is Jeb going to Google this week?
Yeah.
Mr. All Whites.
Yeah.
Just got to include the word uniform. I learned that. Uniform.
Words are important, Jeb. Words
Yeah.
are important.
This is how we learn.
Now, the FBI is going to raid your house, but
Yeah. Well, I'm certainly on some of these lists that I'm making right now, but
I think your picture just ended up on a MAGA list. But
Oh.
that was the face of one of these. Guys like this have to be stopped.
If you don't donate right now, he will know and he will judge you, and everything will be bad. Do you want to donate now or else? It's like, what the heck?
the Patriots need you. They need to stop this bill. Crazy Nancy Pelosi's going to. Well, she is kind of crazy.
Honestly, no joke. That is how I got offered the Ole Miss video job from Ed Orgeron. He basically threatened me over and over again until I took it. It wasn't a job offer. It's like, hey, do you want to do this? No, he literally got mad while offering me the job. I thought about it when I was driving home. I was like, that seems like it should have been a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, that probably should.
Okay, you're gonna have to back this thing up and because you went from Cutcliffe to Coach O, so
That's what Ole
Mr.
Miss
Willis,
did.
please, Mr. Willis, please tell us about the transition from David Cutcliffe to Ed Orgeron and the job opportunity that was presented in such a respectful manner.
Well, the reason I went to Ole Miss and got involved in the video program is because I hosted a sports talk radio show in a place called La Maddalena, Italy, on AFN. It was like Good Morning Vietnam, that type thing. And David Cutcliffe was nice enough to come on my show. Him, Ron Zook, and Frank Solich came on my show. And in Italy, which means I had to do the interview with him sometimes at 10, 11 o'clock at night just to work with the time schedule.
Yeah.
So when I came back, went to Ole Miss, did all that, got to work from the football program, I would run through a brick wall for Coach Cut. Coach Cut was a heck of a guy. A lot of that staff.
I like Coach Cut.
I just loved all of them. In 2004, Ole Miss messed up on their quarterback evaluation.
What?
And in 2002, David Cutcliffe interviewed in Kentucky. So his first year that was below mediocre, boosters took the opportunity to run him out of town because Eli was gone.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
So They ran him out of town. And in that search, they kept trying to hire somebody. They tried to hire Dennis Erickson, who really wanted the job, who showed up to the interview drunk at like 2 in the afternoon.
That's not a great way to get a job.
Yeah, so he didn't get the job, and they kept going over and over again, and eventually Ed Orgeron got the job. And he started going through video guys like crazy. Chris Johnson was the first guy. Brandon Fairburn from LSU, John, was the second guy. And both of those guys got ran off pretty quickly for whatever reason, because O was dang near impossible to work for. And the reason they hired Brandon Fairburn is because he had history with Nick Saban at LSU. And if you could work from Saban, they figured you could work for Ed Orgeron, and that just wasn't the case. So after Biff just up and left, and he was sick of everything, they started to look for other video guys, and nobody wanted the job. But I was a de facto number 2 in that office, and I had been for Chris Johnson, I had been for Brandon Fairburn. I was just a de facto number 2, and basically he got tired of searching for video guys every summer, so he just came to me finally and just said, "Hey, take the job," basically. But he offered me the job and started to tell me, he's like, I'm offering your first job out of college. And I was like, dude, I just got out of the military. I had a real job. And he started going, and I'd say questions like, I don't want to say yes right now. I need to go talk to my wife. Because, that's what you do. You talk to your wife, especially something with a time commitment of a video guy that's 18 hours a day. And then he started getting mad, and he started turning purple, and his voice started getting high. And he was trying to have a normal conversation about what was going on. But he's like, okay, you got the job offer, just let me know and everything. And so I went home, and I knew I was probably going to take it because what kind of, it was a decent offer. It's wasn't a ton of money, but it was a decent offer. And yeah, it should have been a huge red flag.
And later in life you felt, but you wouldn't have all these stories.
No, yes, I would not have all these stories, and I would not be doing what I'm doing right now if it wasn't for that.
Right.
So I would have never known you. I would have never met Jake. I would have definitely never met Jeb. Well, I might have met Jeb. We might have crossed paths at a bar somewhere when he was searching for 20-year-olds somewhere.
3-4 years ago? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, those Coach O staffs, by the way, Matt Lubick and Chris Rippon and Art Kehoe were probably my favorites.
Mm-hmm.
Art Kehoe's a dude, man.
Mm-hmm. He was hilarious. One day, Coach Oju got a wild hair in his butt to institute a dress code for people flying to a road game.
You can say ass. We're off the rails.
Yeah. Well, we were sitting there, and Art Kehoe apparently didn't have a suit or a tie or whatever, and he just got really, really mad what's going on. And he came into our office, and he's like, you can tell him right now I will wear an adult diaper and combat boots, and there's not a damn thing he can do about it. And that was it. Just walked out of the office like, what the hell just happened?
Wow.
Well, I will tell him.
That's right, Beck. I told him.
Okay.
That's Becky's favorite O story.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Adult diapers and combat boots. There's not a goddamn thing you could do about it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was pretty great. Between that and Ryan Nielsen wanting to fight me, it was a pretty interesting couple of years.
Rush, baby. That's funny.
Mm-hmm.
I think still to this day, it probably pisses him off.
Where is he? Do you think?
I think he's the defensive. I think he's the defensive coordinator for the Saints. Believe it or not.
Let's have him on the show.
Who, Coach O?
Oh
no,
yeah? No.
Ryan Nielsen.
Ryan Nielsen.
Oh, okay.
Rush,
Becky, work on that for us.
Yeah.
Book that for us. That'd be phenomenal.
Call him up and say we'd like to discuss one of your old videos I did of you.
Yeah.
Rush, baby.
We'd like to discuss
Man.
Rush Baby, his new album.
When I left, it was so petty towards him. Good grief. So petty.
Done. She said done. We got it.
That's why Becky's the best in the business.
Yeah. She's an A+ producer.
Yeah.
She is definitely a professional deucer. There we go.
Professional deucer. I'm a professional deucer too.
Jeb over here with his Google searches is an amateur.
Yeah,
deucer.
do not let that up, Joe.
No.
So we're going to end this fine professional gram as we wrap this thing. We hope you enjoy. I guess we never gave our coaches of the year. My predictions: Sam Pittman.
Probably Nick Saban again.
Probably.
Oh, it's Kirby last year. Wasn't it?
Lane Kiffin. Yeah, it was Kirby last year. So it's
I
gonna
don't
be
mind
like
saying
whoever
again.
wins.
Brian Kelly's accent.
Well,
Brian Kelly's
Family.
I'm
Yeah.
coach of the year. I beg your pardon.
I do declare.
Well, as we wrap, we hope you have a restaurant. We hope you have a restaurant experience somewhere that is 90-52 score.
Yeah.
Lowest
We
score
hope-
I've ever heard.
We hope that you get to see a fight at your local Waffle House, and we hope that you enjoy whatever you eat when you eat it, whatever. And
Pro
whenever
tip.
you're listening to this show.
If you're pissed off if your Waffle House cook, do not try to fight him. Odds are he's an ex-con.
Odds are
Yeah.
he will
Yeah,
wipe you off this planet.
Yeah, he will know how to throw hands. So,
He'll
Just
know where to
You
bury a
will
body,
catch
too.
some hands, and your face will be on a griddle.
Yeah.
just let it go.
yeah.
Yep, it's okay. It's
Just
a
frozen
waffle.
it. Just frozen. Honor Elsa.
If he
Is that
gets your
Elsa?
order wrong, just eat it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just eat it.
Just eat it. It's probably bad for you anyway. You're probably gonna have the squirts anyway.
Let
So.
it go.
It's okay.
Let it go.
It's not gonna
We
make
got to
much
leave on the squirts. I mean, what the? Oh my god.
Speaking of squirts, okay.
So this
Get that
week I've
visual.
had. Well, never mind. Yeah, let's end it.
Yeah.
Story time.
It's on a Wednesday.
Little
Yeah.
duty
It's been
time
rough.
tales.
It's been a rough
Yeah.
week. No,
Yeah, let's welcome SEC After Dark back to Twitter.
yeah.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Oh,
Well,
man.
we thank you for listening. We are SEC After Dark. For Jeb, Jake, and Steve, I'm Corey. We hope to see you back here next week. Have a great weekend, and the countdown begins to the college football season.
That's right.
Peace out. Go Dogs.
Roll
The
Tide.
balls.
Hotty toddy.
Gosh almighty.
Who the hell are we?
Flim,
Hey.
flam, blam, blam, Ole Miss, hot damn. It's your birthday, hot damn.
What is wrong with y'all?